Good morning. Good morning. I'm so excited about today's episode. So I want to ask you something. Do you feel like turning your calling into income means compromising who you are? Like if you make money doing what you love, you're somehow less spiritual, or somehow you're doing too much, or you're doing something wrong. We are about to shut all that down today, sis. Welcome to the Little Oil Podcast. I'm so super incredibly excited that you are here. If you are here on the live, even if you are here on the replay, I'm so glad you are here. So what I want to do now is I want to get into how to turn your calling into coins, keeping your integrity without the guilt and without selling out. You don't have to sell out to be very wealthy doing what God created you to do. And I feel like sharing this, I feel like moving into this conversation is so important because I see a lot of women of faith, women who claim to be in the Christian arena. I see a lot of them making decisions that is troubling. And I'm telling you right now, I have decided that I'm going to stick to my faith. I'm not going to compromise. I'm going to say what the scripture says. I'm going to live the life that God has called me to, and I'm going to be wealthy, and I'm going to be able to help others, and I'm going to walk in legacy wealth. Two can be true. There was an article and a big showdown on social media about two very influential people in the media who compromised on what they believed. At one point, they believed that they were going to stand on what they wanted to see happen and not compromise based on who they wanted on their show. And then now they're saying, oh, we're going to have these people on our show. And to me, that's wishy-washy. To me, that's taking away from the standard that you are called to. And so I'm just saying right now, you don't have to sell out. You don't have to dumb down or backtrack on what you believe just because you want to make money. Two can be true. And so I'm going to get straight into, I'm going to take my time here today because this is important. If you're thinking about, I need to maybe make a different decision, or I need to dumb down on what I believe because this network won't let me come on the network if I don't do what they want me to do or say what they want me to say. God has a way for you to stand with what you believe and still be wealthy. Gone is the day where we have to compromise our beliefs just to make money. You don't have to do that. You can make money with integrity. So let me get into what we're going to talk about today. Today, I'm going to take you through the exact 3 steps to turn your calling into coins without selling out, without saying, I have to do what the world wants me to do, what mainstream media wants me to do to be able to make a living and grow legacy wealth. Because I'm telling you right now, if you sell out and don't stand on what you believe and don't stand on what the word of God says just for money, it is going to deteriorate your very soul if you really want to do right. Now, if you planning on just selling out or don't believe what the Bible says and you're going to do what the mainstream media says to do, well, that's on you. But if you have been battling with, I don't know how to make money online because I feel guilty about it, because I feel like I'm not supposed to, and taking a vow of poverty, you don't have to do that. God has given us a way, us meaning women of faith who really want to make money and stand by what the Bible says. God has given us the way to be successful without saying or doing what the world wants us to do. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. If the Bible says it's wrong, it's wrong. And I'm going to be able to make as much money as God would allow and do whatever he created me to do financially in the earth. I'm going to be able to do all of that and stand on what I believe. I'm not selling out. I'm not selling out. So I'm going to teach you 3 steps today that you can use to walk in your calling without guilt, without selling out, without hustle, without hype. It is a simple, powerful framework that keeps your values in place. So if you are interested in making money as a woman of faith and stand by your values, this is the episode for you. And go ahead and share it with your sisters, because I know you've been having this conversation. If you haven't been having this conversation yet with someone, you've definitely been thinking about it. And that is why you clicked on this video. And that is why you are here. Stick around to the end, because I'm going to break down everything you need to know to actually make your business work. You have too much in you for you not to be wealthy. You have too much, sis, you could have been rich. You could have been wealthy, and rich is different for different people. I'm never going to be one of those kinds of creators that says, okay, I'm going to share with you how to get $1 million. Well, you may not get $1 million tomorrow, person A, but person B may get $1 million tomorrow, maybe, if they're doing the right things. What I am telling you is this, and I have to be honest with you because it's the truth. Everybody's journey is different. The 3 paths that I'm going to give you today will get you to your $1 million, but the timeline is going to depend on you. It's going to depend on what you do. It's going to depend on how faithful you are. It's going to depend on how committed you are to the process. But $1 million tomorrow, just because you do what I say, no, I'm never getting ready to tell you that. You deserve to know the truth. It is a lot to be a content creator, but it's so fun and it's so doable. So stick around, and if you apply these 3 parts of the framework that I'm going to give you today, if you stick around and do them, you're going to be able to get to your coins, sis, and you're going to be able to do it with integrity, and you're going to be able to do it without all the overwhelm and burden of people making you do what you want to do just to get their money. You don't need their money. God is your source. So because this is how we build bold, faith-based businesses, faith-based women of faith, we do things a little different. We do things a little different. We walk by faith, but we walk in intentionality. We walk by faith, but we use a specific framework. So share this video. Tell your girlfriends, girl, the little podcast is on, and Angela is breaking it down today. So I want to be real with you for a second. Let me get this little oil offer here, and I want to talk to you one-on-one, face-to-face, sis. Well, I want to talk to you one-on-one. I want to be real with you today. I see so many women of faith walking around with gifts that are undeniable. Like what you have on the inside of you is undeniable. However, your bank account is not reflecting that. I see it all the time. And I know you're wondering, because I struggle with this too. You see people online shaking their butts, half dressed, no real integrity when it comes to shielding their femininity. I believe that your greatest strength is your femininity. And I believe that your greatest strength as a woman is modesty. I believe that. And so I'm never getting ready to shake my butt on camera for money. I have something that's valuable, so valuable that I don't have to show half my body to make money. And you don't have to show half your body to make money. And this may not be a popular message, but it's real for those who want it. So if you want it, it's here for you. If you don't appreciate it or don't like it, you can comment in the comments, and we can have a whole conversation around it. I'm good with that. I don't mind having a conversation. I won't argue with you, but I will share my point of view. So all these women who have this undeniable gift, it looks like it's not really a gift and it's not really valuable because they don't see any fruit of that. And I'm going to tell you why. Because their mindset is, I've been giving and giving, and now I'm tired of just being available, so I'm just not going to give anything at all anymore. You don't have to do that. Or, I know I'm called, but how do I ask for a payment without sounding like I'm pimping the gospel? You're not pimping the gospel. I'm going to explain why in just a bit. Or, I keep making Canva graphics, free guides, reels, devotionals, and still nobody is buying my content. Nobody is buying my product. There is a reason why, and I'm going to share with you now. If you stick around, I'll show you exactly what you need to do. And if you are on the replay, go ahead and tell me, Angela, I'm here and I hear you. If you're on the live, tell me who you are and where you are tuning in from so that I can shout you out. I want to say this to you. If you feel like you have to choose being faithful or being paid, guess what? You don't have to. That's the good news. You do not have to choose between being faithful and to what you believe and how you want to live your life and walk in your values and being paid. Both can be true. You can have both. You can have faithfulness to who you are and money at the same time. So, sis, it's not that you don't want to make the money. You need to make money. Because the light bill needs to be paid, the car note needs to be paid. There are things you want to do in the earth to solve some of the world's biggest problems. You can't do that without money. So not making money is not going to be an option for you. I'm going to share with you today how to make the money without selling your soul to the devil. Because I'm never getting ready to walk outside of my principles just for money. But can I tell you the truth? You can make money and stand in your principles at the same time. And I'm going to tell you why. It's called making money with integrity. And we women of faith, that's how we're going to do it, no matter what anybody else says or what anybody else does. Because here's the thing. You've been told two things. You've been told either you serve endlessly for free, and hopefully God will give you an increase. Just give it away free. And just keep giving it away, and maybe you might have a harvest. There are too many scriptures that don't back that up. Stop giving your stuff away free unless it's a lead magnet that you're using in exchange for a person's information to provide them more value. That's different, and we can talk about that in another episode. I'm talking about you keep posting on Instagram all this rich, valuable content. And you don't even want to have a product that creates even more value for your customer because you feel guilty about receiving money. That day is over. Either you've been told you have to serve endlessly for free, or you've been told you have to sell like a savage to make money. None of those things are true. None of those things are true. That's why I'm going to be upfront and honest with you. It's not about making $1 million tomorrow. It's about creating a space to grow over time to get to that million. Everybody's $1 million payday is going to look different. One person's payday may be $1 million payday, may be well before the other person's. But you have to understand that whatever it is that God has called you to and who he has called you to serve, if you put the framework that I'm going to teach you today in place, you're going to get to your money. You're going to get to your millions, and you're going to get to it without selling your soul. So don't sell out. You don't have to. Because when your business is built on a God-given purpose and backed by real systems, you profit with integrity. I'm going to say that one more time. When you build your business with your God-given purpose and you back it by real systems, I'm a systems girl through and through. Why? Because the system is the solution. That's why. When you do that, when you have a purpose-backed system, you're going to profit with integrity. So I'm going to tell you this. I used to feel so guilty about charging for my gift. I would rather give it away than ask somebody to pay me for it. I felt so guilty because I felt like I wasn't supposed to get paid or get money for the gift that God has given me. I felt like it was too precious. I felt like it was not supposed to be pimped. I was so wrong about that. I could have been way farther way back then, if I had just grasped what I'm going to teach you today. I would over-deliver for free. I still struggle with it a bit, but I'm way better than what I was because I have several products that I am going to pitch to you and say, if you want to move forward, if you see that this is a solution for you, then I welcome you to work with me. But that's only because I'm not the only person in the world that teaches this. It must be something that I said or something that I've lived or experienced that resonates with you that allows you to want to work with me. But that is completely and utterly up to you. So I would always worry that people would think that, well, I'm just a church girl and I really don't have anything to say. and what I'm saying is not really valuable or worth it. I knew in my head it was valuable. I'm not saying that, but I felt like if I gave it away, then the guilt would be free about receiving money for it. I think that's what I'm trying to say. And that was wrong. It was wrong to think that way. It was wrong to think that my gift could not be paired with a monetary value. It was wrong for me to think that, and it kept me in bondage for a very long time. So at some point, as I was going through this journey, God checked me, and he reminded me, I don't just call you to purpose, I call you to stewardship. And most people are willing to walk in their purpose and even give everything away, but they're not willing to walk in stewardship. In other words, stewardship means that I am willing to get a harvest in the life of purpose that God has given me. And there's a difference between just walking in purpose and walking in stewardship. You can walk in your purpose and all day long, and you can put all of your content out on TikTok. You can put all your content out on Facebook and Instagram all day long. But if you do not receive a harvest with the gifts that God has given you, then you're not being a good steward of what he's given you. Remember Matthew 25? What happened? He was literally angry with the person who didn't create a return on what they were given. God expects a return on what he gave you. All right, so you don't honor your purpose by staying broke. That's not honoring your purpose. You honor it by building systems around it, and that's exactly what we're going to do today. So if you're with me, give me a thumbs up. If you're on the replay, give me a thumbs up. I'm super excited about what we're going to do today. All right, so I want to start with the internal battle that lies within all of women of faith. At some point in your journey, there's an internal battle that's going on. And number one, I know some of you are saying, and you tell me if this is you, if it's my purpose, it should be free. I used to think that. Here's a good one. I'm not qualified to get paid for this. Hold up. With what you went through, if you're not qualified for it, I don't know who is. All right. I'll look like I'm doing it for the money. That was my biggest one. I'll look like this is what God gave me. I'm sharing my gift with you. And if I ask you to pay for it, then I'll look like I'm doing it for the money. Well, you know what? It's okay. It's okay to do it for the money. It's not okay to do it for the money and backtrack on your values. It's not okay to do it for the money and throw out the window everything you believe in. You don't sell out. So we're going to replace those limiting beliefs with getting paid doesn't corrupt your purpose. Y'all, getting paid doesn't corrupt your purpose. It confirms your impact. Because if somebody sees it valuable enough to pay for it, it confirms that they really believe it's going to help them, and it should. Now, if you are creating something and you know good and well that it's not going to help anybody, but you're just trying to get them to pay for it because it's viral or it's very lucrative online, and you know that you don't really have the experience or the skill to actually help them do the thing that they paying you to do, that's not integrity. But if you know without a shadow of a doubt that it works because it works for you, because it works for your friends who called you and you shared it with them, and they're like, girl, this worked in my life. Getting paid for that doesn't corrupt your purpose. It confirms your impact. Okay? So which lie did you believe the longest? Was it, if it's my purpose, it should be free? Was it, I'm not qualified to get paid for this? Or was it, I'll look like I'm doing it for the money if I'm paid? Which one were you? Go ahead and type it in the comments so I can see where you are in your journey. We're in this together. We're in this side by side. I'm never going to stop creating ways for you to succeed in life and in business. So share. This is a safe space for you to share where you are in your journey. I would love to have a conversation with you. So let's do this. Let's get into the P3 framework. I call it the P3 framework because there are 3 Ps you need to do to make sure that you are walking in integrity while you're making all your coins. This is how you make the bank without selling out. The P3 framework. So I'm going to share my iPad with you. Okay, there it is. All right, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to take you through each one. How are we doing on time? We're 20 minutes in. I'm going to stop at the 45 hour because I have to go in my community. I have a group coaching session in my community from 12 to 12:30, and that's where everybody in the community can hop on a call with me and ask me anything they want to ask, address any roadblocks that they have so that they could keep building and growing and making money. And so I am going to hard stop at 11:45 ish. All right, but let's go ahead and get this framework in there so you can learn from me today. So how do you turn your calling into coins without selling out? You go through my P3 framework. There are 3 things that you need to make sure you have in place. And if you have these things in place, you are going to make money and you're not going to sell out doing it. So the first thing I want to take you through is number 1. Whoops. Really though? All right. So number 1, and that is, this is way too, hold on a second. Let me get this fixed. I have to get this fixed. Hold on 1 second. I want to make sure I get this fixed. All right. So I really got to stop being a perfectionist. It's not serving me at all. All right. Number 1. The first one is purpose. The first thing I need you to consider is your purpose. That is your story, your gifts, your lived experiences, all point to who you are called to serve. So I want you to think about, what can I do well that nobody had to teach me? That's your gift. It's like a present opening up on Christmas morning, ready to be unwrapped and used. Who God called you to and who he called you to serve, what you do well that's going to help somebody else. That is your purpose. And so this keeps your business in alignment and protects your integrity. In other words, let me just say it like this. It's got to be clear here. You know you are walking in integrity in your business when you are doing the thing that you were called to do. Yes, you're going to make money doing it, but you don't walk outside of that and go chase something else that's viral on TikTok or viral on YouTube that has nothing to do with your purpose just because you want to make money on it. If you stick with your purpose, I promise you, you're going to make the money with integrity because you're going to walk in what you were created to do. You're going to connect with who you were called to serve, and they're going to pay you as they should to help them do the thing that they need help doing. So number 1 is you have to stay in your purpose. If you were called to serve trafficked women, stick with that. If you were called to serve mothers who have kids with autism, stick with that. If you were called to serve teachers who are brand new to the classroom because you taught for 59 years and you understand their struggles and you want to help them go to school without stress, strain, or struggle, stick with that. If you're called to help teachers and your experiences and your skills and your purpose is around that, but you see some TikTok video that's showing people how to cook spaghetti, don't start teaching people how to cook spaghetti. Even if there are a billion views on that, stick with your purpose. And if you do that, you won't sell out. And I'm going to show you how to be able to stick with what you're doing and make money. Because I promise you, if you're called to serve in one area of your life and you skip around trying to chase what's working on YouTube or what's working on TikTok, and you're not committed to what purpose that you have, even if it's lucrative for 9,000 other people, it will not be lucrative to you because you're not committed. You're not focused. You're not attached to what you were created to do in the first place. Okay. So number 1 is purpose. And that is the root That is the root of making your coins and walking in your, that is the root of making your coins without selling out. You got to stick with the purpose that you have. Okay. Number two, the next thing I want to talk to you about, the second part of the framework, is you got to have a product. Now, I'm going to say this right here. If you don't have one, you need to get one. And it's not as hard as you think. I know that it seems daunting, but I'm with you. I got you. I'm going to show you and share with you how actually easy it is. I did it. I was a teacher. I was trained to teach people information. And I walked away from the classroom 3 times trying to figure this out. The last time, thank you, Jesus, it stuck and it worked. I finally figured it out, y'all. But you have to give yourself permission to create a product. Gone is the day. After today's podcast, you just keep adding value and value and value and value, and then building trust and trust and trust and trust with people without eventually saying, okay, I'm going to give you the what you need to do. I'm going to give you the why you need to do it. But the how, you need to pay for that. You're doing them a disservice by giving them everything at one time. And as ridiculous as it sounds, here's why. Because if you give people things over and over and over and over again and over deliver on value, they have no personal commitment to doing anything you said. They have to pay something. It has to cost something. If it doesn't cost you something, then you're not really going to be attached to it. They're not really going to be committed to it. And so you have to give them a reason to stick with what you're telling them to do, and you have to have a product to do that. So a product means you're turning your purpose and who you are called to serve and the solution that you provide. You are literally turning that into a package, and that package is a digital product. Now, digital products can look different, but I will say this: if someone can consume it online, whether it be a phone or an iPad or or a computer, if they can consume it online, it's a digital product. What does that look like, Angela? It could be a download. It could be a template. It could be a coaching program. It could be a community. It could be mentoring. Anything that people can consume by getting on some type of device and it's delivered from you to them, that's a digital product. And if you walk in your purpose and you create a product that actually reflects what you're actually able to do, then you're going to get your coins without selling out. You're going to get them. They are there for you. Your coins are there for you. And your product, that's the bridge. Your product is the bridge between what you do well and who you are called to serve and making the money with integrity. Okay? Number 3, the third part of the P3 framework is the profit. You're finally able to start making money now. Here's what that means. The income isn't just possible, it's proof that you are stewarding your purpose well. I'm going to say that again. The income that you make isn't just possible. If you're making money, it's proof that you are stewarding your purpose well. In other words, when you start making money, that's proof that people actually need what you have to offer. And they need it so much they're willing to give you the money for it. Profit is not compromise, it's confirmation. Profit is not compromise, not compromise. It's confirmation. So refusing to make money on what God has given you is like putting the confirmation in the trash can and being sent off to the landfill. Be willing to make a step and see that it's okay to make money on what God has given you, because as you start making money, it's confirmation that that's true. Does that make sense? All right. So if your purpose is the root of making money integrally and the product is the bridge to making money integrally, then the profit, guess what? That's the fruit of your labor. And God never required you to put your skills to work and not be paid for it. That was not a requirement. That was not a requirement. All right. So who are you called to serve? I want you to type it in the chat. Are you called to serve gardeners to help them get a harvest on their herbs because they live in a city and they want to eat organically? Are you called to serve women who want to work a job but feel guilty about not having a meal on the table every night, and you have a way to help them get a meal on the table every night and work that job guilt-free? Are you called to serve women who are bound by physical abuse or mental abuse? Are you called to serve teachers who are in their first year and are about to quit and lose their passion and purpose because they don't know how to manage a classroom? Who are you called to serve? And so whoever that is, I want you to type it in the chat. And here is how you're going to serve your audience, people who you are called to. Here's how you're going to serve them. You're going to stick with your purpose no matter what. Don't let not making money deter you or discourage you. Money will come. I'm going to show you how. So number one, stick with your purpose. Stick with your purpose. You're going to have your coins. Number two, create a product. You got to have a product to sell somebody that teaches them how to solve their problem or achieve their goal or get to their happy place. And number three, you're going to have to finally determine and decide in your mind and in your heart that it's okay to make a profit. Profit is not compromise, it's confirmation. So here's what's the good news. You don't need a big platform. You don't need a big platform to do this. I make money every day. And I have less than 500 subscribers on YouTube. Do I want more? Yes. So go ahead and subscribe. Right? I have less than 200 subscribers or followers on Instagram, but I'm making money because I finally determined and decided that I'm going to walk in my purpose. I am a woman of faith. I do teach that God will provide through having a product and making a profit, but I'm not going to compromise my values to do that. And here's what I know for sure. When I first started out, I thought that I had to help everybody. I wanted to help every woman. But every woman is not going to listen to me. Every woman is not going to see what I have as valuable. Every woman is not going to be willing to walk in their values no matter what. So I know that I'm called to women of faith so that when I'm teaching, I can say, in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ, I want God to bless you tremendously and not feel bad about it. And if anybody calls me and says, Angela, we want you to come speak, they need to know I'm a woman of faith. And if they say you can't say Jesus, if they say you cannot share your faith and your story, I can't come. And that's not money turned away that I feel bad about. Now, am I going to go to every speaking event and call a prayer line? No, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to use wisdom, but I'm definitely not going to turn away from my faith. All right. So what am I saying to you here? I'm saying to you that you don't need a big platform. I don't have a big platform, but I'm still making money every day, even if I am sticking to my values. You don't need a podcast and you don't need a huge course right now. If you choose course as your digital product, it needs to be something very simple, something very easy, and something that's going to get your audience to their goal being achieved very fast. Here's the key to making money right now. Whatever you create as your product, it needs to be three things for your audience. It needs to help your audience achieve their goal or solve their problem fast and easy. It has to do those things. And if they can do it fast and easy, you have built their trust to say, oh, she really can't help me. So whatever else you have to buy to sell to them, they will buy from you. Okay? So it needs to be able to be done quickly. It needs to be able to be done easily. All right. All right. So you don't need a big platform. You don't need a podcast right now unless you want one. If you want to do that, let me know in the chat. I will guide you on how to do that. And you don't need a huge course. Remember, you want something simple. You want a simple product right now. All right. You need a simple product and you need a real system to sell it. And that's where I come in. You don't need more confidence. You need confirmation. You need to start making money. That's where I come in. So here's the trap. You're waiting for a sign. You're waiting to feel worthy. And you're thinking what you're doing right now has already been done. It doesn't matter if it's already been done. It hasn't been done from you. The way you work, the way you move, the way you share, people will resonate with you because of who you are. So most women, they never launch. Why? Let me just lock this right quick. Let me lock this right quick. Okay, because I don't want it to move again. All right, they never launch. Why? Because they don't think it's real. Or they think it's real, but they never turn it into a plan. They never turn it into a system. Clarity doesn't come before the work. It comes from the work. You don't have to wait to say, I don't have enough followers. You get followers by posting. You don't wait for followers to post. You get followers by posting. But you don't give away all your value. You give away enough value for people to see that you are an expert in your field, to enhance curiosity around what you offer. But then once you give them that value, show them how to do it, and how they do the thing that you're teaching is by buying your product. Okay? So here's how you get the transformation. I want you to think about one skill. I want you to think about your story. I want you to think about your gift. I want you to think about your experiences. That is your product. And that is why I created the Little Oil Challenge, because I knew that there are women out there just like me that are sitting on something powerful. I sat on something powerful for a long time, not because I didn't launch something. I launched early, but I didn't sell it. It was just sitting there. Like it was going to just magically appear, like the money was going to magically appear in my account. I didn't feel comfortable with selling because I didn't have the knowledge that I have now, the knowledge that I'm sharing with you. So you don't need a big audience. You don't need to be ready. You don't need fancy tech. You need a system. And that's why I built the Little Oil Challenge, because it's going to allow you to launch your creator business in 5 days. You're going to launch your creator business in 5 days. Launch your creator business in 5 days. And that creative business is simply a system to do just what I have here on the screen. Walk in your purpose, produce a product, yes, in those 5 days, and then create a space where you can actually make the profit. You can start the challenge today. It's ready for you inside of my community. As a matter of fact, I will put the link in the comments for you so that if you are ready, and you want to work with me, you will do this at your own pace on your own time. As a matter of fact, when you go in, I will be in there. I will be right in there ready when you need me to answer questions, to address any roadblocks. But you work this at your own pace. You fit it where it fits in your life. That's why it's going to work. So if you're ready to finally walk into the arena and into your own journey to get your coins without compromise, get your coins without selling your soul, go ahead and drop "I'm ready for my oil" in the comments. I'm ready. You say, "I'm ready for my oil." That's important. It's important. You have to manifest that by speaking it out, but then you also have to make a move. So you were never meant to hide your calling on Instagram captions and Canva quotes. You were never meant to do that. You were meant to walk in your purpose. You were meant to package it, and you were meant to sell it boldly. I'm going to say that in the comments. You have to walk in your purpose, plus package it with a simple digital product, and then Sell it. All caps. Sell it to serve boldly. That's what you were called for. And that's what you're going to be able to accomplish in the challenge. I'm super excited. Go ahead and like and share this video, and even consider subscribing if you want to be part of this journey with us. I am Angela Tesano, and I'm so excited that you joined me today for the Little Oil podcast. There is only one more thing to say, and that is little is much when God is in it. So what will you do with your little oil? I will see you here next Thursday for the Little Oil podcast. Bye for now.